Welcome. This is the Todd Father welcoming you to our first episode of The Todd Father Speaks. I am, as I mentioned before, the debonair, blurred extraordinaire, the Todd Father, aka the one who knows, at least when it comes to comics. And this is the first of one of our little Nerd Eternal Network vignettes that not only myself but others should be coming along doing, fingers crossed. But today, I'd like to talk about the sorry state of black heroes in 2019. It's a really depressing subject to talk about, considering 2018 was pretty much our golden age. We started the year with Bilal, A Hero's Journey, which was the first time I'd seen a animated movie that had a black protagonist in it. And we had Black Panther in February. We had Pacific Rim Uprising a few months after that. It ended the year with the award-winning Spider-Man Homecoming, so it looked like things were finally starting to go in the right direction. But this year, we're about halfway through. Luke Cage is gone. Black Lightning is looking like it's barely hanging on by its fingertips. The latest rumors are that it's going to be gone after season 3. And in the latest MCU movie, Captain Marvel, we get to see two black heroes that should have agency basically reduced to sidekicks. That's the problem. I find it interesting that in today's quote-unquote diversity-driven pop culture market, that black people are still finding themselves really in the same place we always were, either non-existent or as some white person's sidekick. That's a thing. That's a thing for me, because I watch all these things with my inner child fully engaged. And I think about what it would be like if I was watching these shows or these films back when I was 6 or 7 years old. What is that saying to kids? Now, I realize that there will be those that say, well, why has a hero got to look like you? Well, it doesn't. One of my favorite heroes is Captain America, which, if you know me personally, is ironic as all get out. You can find my favorite hero growing up was Batman. You can find different character traits that are universal, that anybody can aspire or look up to. But it helps when, in this culture, for a minority person to be able to look at someone that actually looks like themselves in a positive light. God knows, as black people, we get to see plenty of negative images of ourselves, be it through news or entertainment. So to suggest that having positive representation of us is unimportant is either naive or just flatly wrong. You do need to see people that look like you doing positive things every now and then. Which brings me back to my point. I watched Captain Marvel. I was literally just in a conversation online with some people about Captain Marvel, and the biggest problem that I have with Captain Marvel is that it put black characters back in their place. And by their place, I mean their only reason for being is to support the white hero. Whether that hero be male or female makes no difference. The place is still the same. Anyone that knows who Monica Rambeau, the little girl in Captain Marvel, who she is in the comics, knows that what I'm saying here is the truth. Monica Rambeau was the second Captain Marvel in comics. She had no connection to the Kree Marvel, but was a powerful character in her own right. She was introduced in Spider-Man Annual 16, and was at one point a leader of the Avengers. She is friends. She basically has, in the comics, the same relationship with Carol that her mom has in the movie. They were friends, they were equals, they were co-workers. It's that kind of relationship. But what this movie has done has doomed Monica if she ever gains powers, if she ever shows up as, well, she can't be Captain Marvel now, if she ever shows up as Photon or Spectrum or Pulsar or any of the other number of identities she's had in the books, she will be looking at Aunt Carol as something to aspire to. They have basically turned her into Rhodey. They've basically turned her into Sam. Sam fawns when he looks dreamingly at Captain America and says, I do what he does, only slower. I hate to tell you, that's an admission of inferiority. The minute you go, oh yeah, I do what he does, just not as good as he does, that's an admission of inferiority. And you're going to have Monica, if she ever shows up, she's already preordained for that. Because she's looked at up to her as a child. And if she ever gains powers, it'll be, ooh, I'm just like Auntie Carol. I'm not my own woman. The second character with agency that this movie ruins is Nick Fury. Nick Fury has been a badass every time you've seen him. You can't say that he's done a whole lot, but he radiates, his persona is that he's not one to be effed with. That he runs S.H.I.E.L.D., and he's not one to be played with. He's not a joke. But yet, in Captain Marvel, even though he, by his own admission, he's a colonel and a veteran of the Cold War, he's a joke. He's a clown. You know, he's there, you know, he's the one that she's got to tell him stop playing with the cat. Come on. It's a Cold War vet. He shouldn't need that. He should have still had agency. And that's my problem. You can have a sandbox, which is something that you don't see much in today's media, in their pop culture, in the push for diversity. I'm all for diversity, trust me. I'm a little black kid at heart. I'd love seeing other black people on screen doing heroic stuff. But by God, I get tired of them being the help. Do you get what I'm saying? There should be more to this than, well, I either get to be a flunky or I get to be the race swap version of a flunky. Why can't the people that look like me be their own people? And that's the thing that you saw with Black Panther. That's the reason why Black Panther hit like it hit. It's the reason why he caught on like it caught on. It's because he was the first MCU character that you'd seen in these movies he was not the help. He was his own man. He had agency. He moved and directed things on his own, not looking fawningly and lovingly at some white person as the hero. And that's an issue. That's a thing. There's room enough. Nick Fury could have been Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, and it wouldn't have reduced her in the least. Not in the least. The man's a Cold War vet. He gets into the elevator with a Skrull. He realizes that the Skrull called him by the wrong name. He kills it. Or he at least attempts to kill it. It's not him going out of his human limitations. He could have tried and failed and needed help because he was dealing with an alien. But for him to basically run to mommy to, you know, as his first reaction, come on, give me a break. I mean, there are things that could be done where everybody gets a good look. And in this age of diversity, I've noticed when it comes to race, everybody's not getting a good look. You're not getting the same thing. You got Jane Foster as Thor, who in her first 6 issues beat everybody from the Absorbing Man to Odin in the Destroy armor, if I'm not mistaken. You juxtapose that with Sam Wilson, Captain America, who got his butt kicked his first 6 issues, and the only fight that he did not end unconscious was the one where he fought the female version of the Red Skull. He is the first Captain America to ever lose in a fight to Batroc the Leaper. How is that diverse? How is that fair? How is that even in the playing field? They made him a flunky. I literally used to call that book the inferior Captain America, because there was nothing that he did that Steve Rogers didn't do better. Nothing. Now, Marvel tends to want the diversity cookie for that kind of thing. Oh, look, we got a black Captain America. Yeah, what's the quality of it? Yeah, he's black, but let's be honest, I'd rather be absent than inferior. That's just a fact. You know, if you can't show me kicking butt like everybody else, then don't show me. You know, you can straight Lord of the Rings that crap. I still watch Lord of the Rings. There were no black people in it. I still watched it. I would rather they all be Lord of the Rings than the first 6 issues of Sam Wilson Captain America. Because that's flat out saying I'm not as good as. Now, you can keep that. I'm not paying for it. I'm not supporting it. I'm not pretending to support it in some faux rush of diversity. You can keep that. Another thing that in this rush that people seem to still have problems with, strong black men. Powerful black men. That's a problem that I have with Black Lightning. Black Lightning's the star. Black Lightning's the hero. But let's be honest. His daughters, who haven't had their powers as long, because this is Black Lightning coming out of retirement. They haven't had his powers as long. They don't have the experience. They truthfully don't have the power level. If you don't believe me, Google Black Lightning and look at his power set and then watch the show. No, he is a Magneto level powered Lord of the Electromagnetic Spectrum type character. Which I get is too much for a TV show, but come on. They make Green freaking Arrow the toughest guy in the room. They could do better with Black Lightning. They can. And that's another little trope that I've seen snuck into these things. Well, you got a black hero. Yay, we get the cookie. Is he as powerful is he as good as anybody else? Well, that's where we get a little iffy. You know, he's either playing sidekick to some white person or he's being upstaged by a black woman. That seems to be fairly popular too, and you can see it both in Black Lightning and in my beloved Black Panther, if you want to be honest. Because you can't say that T'Challa is a better fighter than Okoye. Okoye was the help. She's literally the help. The Dora Milaje, yeah, they are glorified stormtroopers. Okoye and Nakia were just 2 of them that had names. They were Commander Cody. They had a name. Does not elevate them to the hero. And they gave his technological brilliance to Shuri, who in the books was basically a black Paris Hilton. Now, granted, I don't mind them making Shuri smart, but don't reduce. I have the same problem with it that I have with the black sidekick. You don't have to reduce people to make everybody cool. And they reduced the hell out of T'Challa. They reduced T'Challa from Civil War, because the T'Challa in Civil War, yeah, you don't get the impression that he's taking crap. You know, when he's in the room, that's the dude. That's the Joker in the room you need to be worried about. Not the help. The help was still badass, because when Ayo steps to Black Widow, yeah, everybody in the audience is like, yep, Black Widow about to get her ass handed to her. You could tell that Ayo wasn't about that bull. But T'Challa wasn't about the bull either. They can both be badasses. They can both be cool. You can have more than one badass in a movie or a film or a TV show. You don't have to reduce somebody to make somebody else cool. And that's a problem. That's a rampant problem these days in the age of diversity, is because you can't, whoever they're deciding to push at the time becomes some kind of Mary Sue. Well, they can't lose. They're perfect from the beginning, in the middle, in the end. They're perfect, all powerful. They may get more powerful, but they're perfect. Well, that's dull. That's dull storytelling, even. It's not exciting. You want to see the hero challenged. Part of the fun is, hey, they may lose that battle. But you can't lose that battle if you're perfect. There's no fight that Rey has ever gone into that you thought, oh, she might lose. No, what are you talking about? She's more Jedi than Master Luke. Yoda's ghost shows up and goes, no, we ain't got nothing to teach her. And they hadn't taught her anything. That's a problem. But anyway, I digress. Back to the black hero thing is, yeah, I would like to see some improvement on that front. I would like people to realize that not everybody's falling for this, and kind of see what's going on. I hope Black Lightning continues. It's something that I watch every week. It's a really good show despite my problems with it. But I would like to see his pop culture thing be more of a sandbox. And right now it's really not. You just kind of, the thing right now seems to be, let's trade who's running, who gets to be the Mary Sue, and that's not working. I mean, it's not cool. And like I said, as a black person, I don't see our position changing. Maybe I would feel different if all of a sudden, we had a bunch of black Mary Sues running around. Maybe I would go, I doubt it, but, maybe I would go, hey, this is mad cool. But anyway, this is the first episode of The Todd Father Speaks. Let me know what you think. How do you feel about the state of black heroes? All of my stuff won't be racial, but this was just one that, I've been talking about this and off and on all day, and figured, I got a mic. I think I'll talk about it. Anyway, this is me talking to you from my sick bed. If you can't tell, I'm kind of losing my voice, but check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, at thenerdeternal.com. If you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. We can definitely use the support. No Patreon or anything like that, so I'm not hitting you up for money. We're just here for the likes, people. In other words, we're not afraid to shamelessly self-promote, as I used to say once upon a time. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.